is get them before they get you.
Man, look, living by the street code might have finally caught up to Big U. He's now officially facing a murder charge, and people in the streets are still blaming him for Nipsey's death. After that video clip came out, some folks are saying he basically told on himself. The feds claim they've got proof, but is Big U really admitting to what they're saying?
So this is gonna probably be my last video. I'm gonna go turn myself in.
Yeah, he turned himself in, but don't let that fool you. There's a lot more going on here. Let's break it down. The most serious thing Big U's facing is the alleged 2021 murder of Rayshawn Williams, a 21-year-old up-and-coming rapper who was reportedly signed to Big U's label UE Music. Court docs say Williams was shot in the head and his body was dumped near Interstate 15 in North Vegas. The motive? Rumor is Williams dropped a diss track aimed at Big U and things turned deadly. The feds say they've got strong evidence like cell phone data placing Big U at the scene and attempts to erase security footage. They're also claiming he told witnesses to stay quiet when the police showed up. Murder is a key part of the RICO charges filed against him in March 2025. But that's not all. There's still talk about his possible connection to Nipsey Hussle's 2019 death. Even though Eric Holder was convicted, rumors are still flying, especially from rapper SKG. She's been saying Big U was behind the whole thing because of some business beef. In her No Jumper interview, she didn't hold back at all.
He absolutely was involved in Nipsey's situation, and people, they don't want to say it, they're scared to say it, that's fine, I'll say it for you. He was involved with the Nipsey situation.
She didn't stop there. She went even harder, saying she's sure Big U had something to do with Nipsey's murder. She brought up past drama, including a time when Big U allegedly put hands on her while she was pregnant with Nipsey right there. According to her, Big U acted like he was untouchable and was putting pressure on the whole Crenshaw area. SKG went deeper into her theory during that same No Jumper interview.
And I want to let the detectives, because they're supposed to reopen Nipsey's case, that's what I was told.
Oh, wow.
I want to let them do their work. And I just feel like if they do their due diligence, they will find out exactly what they're looking for.
When it comes to Nipsey Hussle, there's no official evidence or charges linking Big U, just a lot of speculation. Big U has publicly denied having anything to do with it, especially in a 2019 Vlad TV interview and again in a 2021 appearance on Drink Champs. Some reports say the DA might revisit Nipsey's case to look for possible links, but nothing's been confirmed as of May 2025. In that Drink Champs interview, Big U strongly denied having any issues with Nipsey before his death.
We never had a problem up to that. He was my He came to get me, and I asked him, I said, man, listen, man, what we gonna do, man? I don't want to be back in no more bullshit. We said, man, nigga, you gonna be you, huh? You gonna do what you gonna do. We gonna go take over.
Big U kept it 100, emphasizing him, and Neepy was locked in till the end.
In his video, what is it, ain't no rap. The first song off the Victory Lap. I am the promoting Victory Lap on my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All these weirdos who told me who became Nipsey fans, they weren't promoting it.
As for the Rayshawn Williams murder case, Big U been maintaining his innocence on all charges before turning himself in on them. RICO charges. He recorded videos denying the accusations, claiming they trying to press him for his community work.
This the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community and do what you can. You're just guilty because somebody else don't like you and then go on the internet and do what they want to, and y'all gonna promote it.
Even though Big U denies everything, his legal troubles are still going on. As of May 2025, he's still locked up and waiting for trial. The 43-count indictment against him includes charges like racketeering, fraud, extortion, and murder. If he's found guilty, he could face life in prison. The legal issues started around 2020, when the FBI began investigating the Rollins 60s neighborhood Crips. On March 19, 2025, the feds charged Big U and 18 others, claiming he was running a mafia-style operation. The next day, Big U turned himself and went to court and pleaded not guilty. The judge decided he had to stay in jail until trial. In a video before he surrendered, Big U kept saying he was innocent and questioned whether the case against him was even real.
I'm looking at all these charges on the news. I'm headed back to LA. And then I'm looking at the people they arrested. How you gonna go arrest people that I don't even talk to? That's a built-in liar right there. You know what I mean? So, is that how they gonna work the case?
By March 27, 2025, a 43-count federal indictment was made public, adding even more charges against Big U. These included racketeering, fraud, robbery, extortion, tax evasion, and embezzlement. Prosecutors say his company Big U Enterprise acted like a criminal organization, using his street rep and gang connections to pressure people and businesses. They also claim he scammed $235 million from LA's Gang Reduction and Youth Develop (GRYD) program through his nonprofit Developing Options. Big U, however, has said he feels like he's being targeted. In a video before turning himself in, he claimed his legal problems are more about his work in the community than about any real.
Now you raiding my houses, raiding my shops, raiding all this stuff, and talking about I'm committing crimes and covering up with Developing Option. What crimes am I committing to cover up with Developing Option?
On April 8, 2025, Big U pleaded not guilty to all charges in the 43-count federal indictment. As of May 6, 2025, there haven't been any new public updates, which means the case is still in the pre-trial stage, and Big U remains behind bars. This case isn't just about him. It involves 18 other people who are also accused of being part of his alleged criminal network. Charges include everything from drug trafficking to murder, painting a picture of a well-organized operation that used legit businesses and community programs as a cover. The courts will decide Big U's fate, but the streets are already split. Some people think he's being targeted, just like other successful black men trying to help their communities. Others believe these charges finally confirm the shady stuff folks have been whispering about for years. Before all the legal drama, Eugene Big U Henley Jr. had made a name for himself going from the streets to boardrooms. Grew up in South Central LA and was deeply involved with the Rolling 60s Crips not just as a member but as a well-known OG whose reach went far beyond the neighborhood. In his own words, from the documentary Big U, The Real DBO Rolling 60s, documentary part 1, he talks about the tough environment that shaped who he is.
So many ways to die in LA when this cocaine hit. It was treacherous. You had to watch out for your team, the other team, the robbers, the police. I was living by, a code. That code was, get them before they get you.
In his youth, Big U wasn't just about that gang life. He was about them hands too, as he recounts in the same documentary, Don't Have a Reputation.
Don't have a reputation for fighting was everything back then. That was before guns. That was before guns came into play. You was pretty much known for your reputation.
This physical presence, combined with his street intelligence, helped cement his position within the gang hierarchy. One of his day ones even recalls.
Back in the day, Big U was kicking his ass. He had a reputation. Back then, he was probably like 17.
But that street life eventually caught up with Big U. In the early 1990s, he did a 13-year prison sentence for gang-related crimes. That time behind bars became a turning point for him. People who knew him in prison say he showed strong leadership, even helped bring unity by organizing events like a Juneteenth celebration that brought together black inmates from different gangs. After getting out around 2004, Big U started making moves in the music industry. This wasn't just a random shift, was smart about it. He used his street reputation to manage artists and build industry connections. He worked with big names like Kurupt and most famously Nipsey Hussle, helping both artists early in their careers. In a documentary, Big U talks about his bond with Kurupt and how he tried to keep him focused and away from the street life.
I was finna ride with the homies.
Some of the homies was asking me for some tools, and when they pull up on me, Kurupt is in the car with him. I'm like, man, get out the car, man. What is you doing?
He grabbed the nigga by the collar and got your ass about this guy.
This ain't your review. You gonna do the rap game, go do the rapping.
Big U didn't just stop at Musiche, also got into film, wrote and produced movies like Force of Execution, and worked on documentaries, including one about Jam Master Jay called Two Turntables and a Microphone. Most notably, he was an executive producer for the FX documentary series Hip Hop Uncovered, where he told his own story and talked about his role in hip. On Drink Champs, Big U explained how the Hip Hop Uncovered series came together and shared what he hoped to show through the project.
How this show got Jimmy Chris came to me. He's a partner of mine. He's a blood. He's a Paru out of Compton.
Okay.
Came to me to do the show. He wanted to do it with Suge, Wack, and a couple more people.
One of the most surprising parts of Big U's story is how involved he became in community work. Through his nonprofit Developing Options, he focused on helping young people, getting over 150 kids into college, and working to reduce gang violence in Los Angeles. He also pushed for local hiring on film sets to bring more jobs and opportunities to black communities. Big U's move from the streets to becoming a business and community leader is a rare path, especially in hip-hop. He stayed connected to where he came from while building real businesses, giving him influence in many different areas. On Drink Champs, he talked about how committed he is to the work he's doing through Developing Options.
But the most thing I'm more important about is Developing Options. So that's the work I do with the kids.
Wow.
And with that, I got over 1,500 boys that we have put through college.
Big U's story also includes a big physical transformation. Standing 6'3" and weighing between 285 and 300 pounds, His size matched his reputation. This strong presence, combined with his smarts and street knowledge, made him a powerful figure, both in gang life and later in business. But his early life wasn't just about the streets. Big U has talked about growing up with his cousins practicing martial arts and training in their front yard. Those experiences helped him build not only his strength, but also his discipline and ability to think strategically. In his documentary, he talks warmly about his neighborhood and how it shaped him.
On this block. Here go my cousin right here. Man. His daddy is the one who bought this house. This was our whole life. This is the most valuable house in the world right here to us.
Big U's life showed two sides, the street-certified gangster and the business-minded community leader. This made him a powerful but sometimes controversial figure. Even before his recent legal troubles, he was known for switching between these roles, easily moving from corporate boardrooms to neighborhood centers. Over the years, his public image reflected the complicated story of redemption in hip-hop culture. He presented himself as someone who had changed his life after prison, using his past and connections to create opportunities for others. But many still wondered if he had fully left his old life behind a tension that came to a head with his 2025 indictment. Beyond the murder charges and his legal businesses, Big U's reputation in the streets and entertainment world was linked to what people call a check-in culture. This meant that artists, athletes, and entertainers had to check in or pay to operate safely in certain areas, or else face consequences. According to federal complaints, Big U used his connections with the Rolling 60s Crips to pressure businesses and people. The alleged extortion didn't just target celebrities, it even included local food vendors near Crenshaw High School, showing how wide his influence reached. Rapper Loose Cannon talked about these practices on a podcast. He said, Big U and his crew would take big amounts of money from visiting stars. He mentioned names like Rick Ross and Meek Mill, who reportedly had to pay around $5,000 just to keep partying at clubs. These claims also touched the music industry. Hip-hop artist SKG was especially vocal about her experience with Big U. In a detailed interview, she shared how she first introduced Big U and Nipey Hussle to the radio station CAD where she works.
When I walk in these rooms, people like Roy Laughlin who don't have black friends, he doesn't understand our struggles. But when he bond with someone like me and I'm explaining what I go through or what the community go through, now he wants to help.
She explained how she had built valuable industry connects that Big U then allegedly tried to appropriate.
So I changed the record and added Walker to the record. And then we did the video, we did everything. And then I made the call, got it on the same day I got it on MTV. They was like, what the f***, I should get this shit on MTV.
The situation allegedly escalated to violence, SKG claims. Big U put hands on her at Nipey's shop after she refused to let him control her business dealings.
He jumped on me because I stood up to him and would not let him dictate, extort, or control me. And because my bosses and colleagues rode with me. This is why I got jumped on.
The fallout from this alleged assault was substantial. SKG claims she lost her job, Crib Whips, and had to flee to Atlanta for her safety.
I lost my job, I lost my 401k, I had just bought me 2 cars, I lost my car, I lost my condo, I lost everything.
Wow.
On top of my reputation, my image, SKG, the music, the events, the branding, he stripped me of everything.
SKG also alleges that Big U continued to press her over the years, even claiming he put a hit out on her.
After I got out of jail, I got a call a couple of days later that Big U had put a hit out on me.
Oh, wow.
And so a few people called and told me, but one person that called me was Monique Slaughter.
When asked if she was scared after learning about the alleged hit, SKG's response reveals her strength. I'm moving the same because
I'm moving the same because I'm not walking in fear. I can't. I did that for years dealing with this man.
Big U's alleged actions weren't just isolated incidents. They seemed to be part of a system to control territory and make money. The check-in culture he's accused of enforcing is similar to what happens in other cities. But according to the federal indictment, Big U's operation was especially organized and widespread. Trick, a well-known hip-hop artist from Detroit who enforces a no-fly zone, there explained the idea of controlling territory in hip-hop during his Drink Champs interview.
Even if it's just, somebody, even if somebody I don't know. Yeah. But at this time, we have a situation between me something that's got to do with me, an altercation that started between my homies and his homies. And
The big difference between Trick Trick's approach and what Big U is accused of, according to the federal indictment, is how organized and connected the extortion was with his legit businesses. Besides the alleged extortion and violence, Big U is also accused of tricking NBA players like Draymond Green and Shaquille O'Neal. He supposedly convinced them to donate to his charities, but then moved the money into his personal accounts. For example, a current NBA All-Star donated $2,000 on August 20th, 2019, and a former NBA MVP wrote a $2,000 check on September 21st, 2022, with $15,000 of that going to Henley's account. These claims show that Big U's influence went way beyond just street-level activities. The accusations suggest he used intimidation and control not only on the streets, but also in entertainment and business. Even with all these serious charges, Big U kept up a public image as a reformed gang member turned community leader. Through his nonprofit Developing Options, he presented himself as someone helping youth in South Los Angeles find a way out of gang life. This mixed the community activist on one side and the alleged criminal on the other, created a complicated public image that has now been shattered by the federal charges. The indictment says his legit businesses, including Developing Options, were actually fronts for criminal activities. In a video before he turned himself in, Big U strongly denied all these allegations.
I'm looking at this video as I come in to turn myself in, and I'm disheartened by the fact that they trying to say that I stole something from Developing Option, or I used Developing Option as a front. Developing Option paid my bills. They paid my house note. They paid the bills for my family.
All right, here's the real tea on Big U. People who used to roll with him but now talk quietly say he had a huge network of informants all over LA clubs, studios, gyms, basically anywhere celebrities or athletes might show up. That network would let him know the second someone important arrived, so he could make sure they got the invite to check in. The way he ran it was straight up genius, which is how he kept control for so long, even with others watching him closely. SKG isn't the only one saying Big U had violent tendencies. Others have seen it firsthand. Just his size 6'3" and almost 300 pounds made people think twice before crossing him. But if you did, the consequences were real quick, from ruining your reputation to straight-up physical threats. His control over territory felt like old-school mob style, like the Italian mafia or black organized crime from the 70s, protecting neighborhoods for a price. But what made Big U different was how he mixed all that with legit businesses in entertainment and sports. That street and corporate blend made it super hard for law enforcement to pin him down. Over time, his tactics supposedly got smarter too. What started as strong-arm moves turned into financial plays, shell companies consulting deals contracts that looked clean on paper, but were really about control and money. Basically, he adapted street power for the corporate world without losing any muscle behind it. What's wild is that in South Central, people are split. On one hand, his nonprofit Developing Options did real work, scholarships helping people out of gangs and stuff like that. But on the other, there's a vibe of fear and control. Some community leaders didn't want to talk openly about him because of the good work he was doing, or maybe because they didn't want the drama. Then there's the whole check-in culture. Some cultural critics say it turns authenticity into a transaction. If you're an artist coming to LA, you basically have to pay respect, maybe literally to someone like Big U to prove you're solid. That turns street cred into something you buy, which goes against what hip-hop is supposed to be about. And let's not ignore the gender side. KG says when women push back against Big U's power, they face not just violence, but sexual threats. Other women in the industry back this up, showing a pattern where men held the power and women paid the price if they didn't follow the rules. Law enforcement people who worked on his case say Big U ran a tight operation with trusted layers, careful communication, and legit businesses as a cover. They couldn't pin anything big on him until now. What's new this time is the RICO charges, which let prosecutors connect all the dots and treat it like one big operation. Bottom line, no matter how his legal case ends, Big U left a mark. His story isn't just about one guy. It opens up talks about race, power, hustle, and survival. It's messy, yeah, but it also shows the systems people have to work through and sometimes play to keep power in America. Peace out, and until next time, click the boxes on your screen for more exciting content.